Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Casual Commander. I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And today, like we promised, because we mentioned it the last time we recorded, we are going to be going through some of the the Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander decks.
Yeah, 5 is a lot for
Five,
one episode.
five is a lot. So I think we're going to do it like at least three, maybe two, seeing
I,
how it goes.
how does that work? At least 2, maybe 3
Well,
is the
in
proper grammar.
in this episode, I don't know if we're going to do three. At some point we have to do three. I don't think we're going to break this up into three episodes, but my point is, like, depending on how the first two go,
Yeah,
it,
we might do a third.
yeah, we might do a third.
And then whatever next week we'll do, because I know we've been doing every other week for Magic episodes, but we're
Yeah.
going to do 2 weeks back to back to get through these decks.
Yeah, for this one.
Yep.
And yeah,
So,
and so, I mean, if you are a follower of the show, you probably know our rating system by now. It's pointless. It really is just how we feel about it. But we do try and be consistent and fail. There is, looks like 8 or 9 categories, or I guess overall is not technically a category.
yeah, so there are
That's still 9.
9 categories.
Yeah. And we'll go through each of them. So if you're new, don't worry, you'll find out very soon both our
Yeah,
scale and the categories.
it means nothing.
It means nothing.
And remember, you can always go back and look at our old ratings if you wanted to see how we rated decks. We have been rating on the scale since New Capenna. So if you wanted to go back and find all of our ratings, you can get to that from our website, casualcommandercast.com.
Yeah.
Casualcommanderpodcast.com.
Yeah.
Is it podcast? Yes. Casualcommanderpodcast.com.
Are we
So,
for the podcast listeners? Are we going to go in the order you got up there?
this was the order that it got published on MTG Goldfish. So I don't really care what order we do it in.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Okay, good enough. Right to left.
Hell yeah! All right, so let's kick it off with some Teamer Roar.
Okay.
Roar.
All right. So this is obviously, it's the 5 dragon decks all in the wedge colored. So Teamer is green, blue, red. Everyone knows what Teamer is, I hope. And the face commander for this deck is Eshki, Teamer's Roar. I think the 5 commanders are like the heads. Yeah, they're the heads of the clans right now, right?
I
Mostly.
don't know the lore. I thought the
Yes
heads
and
of the
no.
I thought they were dragons that were the head of these clans.
No, there's a person. Most of them, not all of them, have a person. Some of them have a person. Some of them don't. I don't know. At least it seems like every single one has a dragon and a person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So the face commander is Eshki, Tamer's Roar. For green, blue, red, you get a 2/2 human warrior. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on her. If that spell's power is 4 or greater, draw a card. If that spell's power is 6 or greater, Eshki deals damage equal to Eshki's power to each opponent. Could that be any more Teamer?
I frankly I don't think it can. And what's more,
I feel like that's lazy.
it is. Look, we talk about this all the time. Like, yeah, I think they might be getting lazy. Like, there were plenty of cards last time that were like, it's good. It's not innovative, but that's because it's good. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a +1/+1 counter, so you get green. It's draw a card, so you get blue, and then it's deal damage, so you get red. Wow, creative.
yeah, but like honestly, that's still pretty good though.
I mean, it's everything that Teamer does, just in the most boring fashion possible.
Okay, but we're not rating it yet on fun factor.
Sure. All
Frankly,
right, good.
for 3 mana, I think she's strong.
She doesn't pass the bear test.
She doesn't pass the bear test, but I don't think you are going to attack with her. At least not yet, like not early, right?
I mean, obviously, she's going to be very much creature based, right?
Yeah.
Just tossing tons and tons of creatures out, hoping for high mana or high power creatures. You can dump your board, get some dragons out, and you're
Yeah.
in blue, so it's in green, so it's not hard to get a ton of mana and get
So
to high powered stuff quick.
I think there's a couple important points to note. One, I think she says whenever you cast a creature spell, so there's not a lot of like create X amount of things shenanigans you can do, right?
Mhm.
But that does mean Storm can pop off with her.
Are you sure?
Does Storm not? Do you not
Storm
cast
does
the
not
copies?
cast. No,
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I take it back. I could have sworn it did.
it just copies it, and copies aren't cast. Yeah, storm copies are put directly on the stack. They are not cast.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, the storm would storm itself.
Okay, well, meh. All right, fine. So, but again, it's casting, so it doesn't work with Storm. It doesn't work with like make X amounts of creatures, right?
Yeah, there's no
But
ETBs. There's no.
she does on cast get all of that benefit, right? It
Not
does
for
not have to
herself.
enter.
Oh, it doesn't have to enter. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could theoretically
You could counter it.
get something countered, but it doesn't matter because she'll still have a triggered ability.
Yeah, and she will. So yeah, she'll get the +1/+1. You might potentially draw a card. You might do damage. So like, there's incremental value that I think she brings a lot. Like I think she's relatively strong for 3 mana. The big drawback is you got to be casting some pretty big creatures to get her full benefit, which
It's
is
Teamer. That's not a problem.
yeah,
I mean, this deck is basically about I'm gonna cast big beefy stuff and come at you. Which
which
literally she's Teamer's roar.
I
Right?
love that.
Like, yeah, I know. I don't know, man. This is a 7 to me.
I think it's solidly a 7.
It's a solid 7, which is fine. Like I'm good with that. I think that's a good like not every commander needs to be crazy busted.
Sure, yeah.
You know
It's not an Ur Dragon.
exactly. What's the alternate?
The alternate is Ureni of the Unwritten. It costs 4 green, blue, red for a 7/7 spirit dragon with flying and trample, and says whenever Ureni enters or attacks, look at the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a dragon creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in any order.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
More Tamer.
That's the dragon card that we need.
I think that's also pretty good. Upper end of 7, I would say.
It's a free ability. It's an ETB effect also and an attack. Like, it's just he's expensive. Don't get me wrong.
He's 7 mana.
He
Yeah.
passes the bear test.
He does pass the bear test.
He does pass, and flying trample is nothing to laugh about.
I think, frankly, the main commander is better, but
Who are you?
what I something can be objectively better but less fun. That is actually usually how it goes.
Tim, this is I play it, I get more dragons.
Sure. Well, you could fizzle. It's only 8, right? If you're building your deck right, you're not going to fizzle, but like Chris, there are plenty of times that I don't see a single card that I'm hoping for in more than 8 turns.
That's on you, brother.
I don't think it is. I think it's
That's on you.
literally
Bad-
a game
bad
of
deck
chance.
design. Bad deck design.
Oh my god. Anyway, I think you're going to get more from Eshki than you will from Ureni. But
Sure.
I think it's still a solid 7.
I'm gonna say this is a 7 as well.
Yeah.
It once again, obviously, if we look through the deck, there's I'm sure a whole lot of dragons in it. Okay, let me rephrase that. Every single creature in this deck is a dragon.
No, there's some human shamans.
95% of the creatures in this deck are dragons.
There it is.
So your any will hit.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there's a decent amount of non-dragons. Well, that's
Okay,
a
S
shapeshifter that
key.
counts.
There is dragon. Okay, we'll talk about the creatures later. We'll,
Okay.
we'll talk. We'll get to the creatures. But there are 34 creatures in this deck. 20, 30 of them are dragons. You have a high chance of hitting a dragon with them.
I've seen 5 so far that are not. We're gonna do the math. We're gonna make Chris feel dumb. Okay, so yeah, there's 5 out of 34. 29
5 out of 35 if you count the
or
commander.
35. Yeah, yeah.
So 30 dragons.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit one.
Or you might not.
Just learn to shuffle, Tim.
Oh my god.
Okay. New cards. So surprisingly, they're all dragons.
What? That's crazy.
I mean, they all seem fine. They're just more dragons, right? This one's pretty neat for a sorcery. Become the Avalanche. 4 green for a sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Then, creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. If that gave trample, that's basically just an overrun, which they're never going to give it trample. But like I could imagine for if you're running one of those like herd Baloths or rampaging Baloths combos where you have like 50 4/4s on the battlefield, this could be a pretty darn good card.
I don't see that anywhere, so I think MTG Goldfish is missing some stuff.
It's in there. It's a sorcery.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
It's there. It's at the very top. Become the Avalanche.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at a Mythic Spoiler because they have like the new cards split out separately.
Oh, Mythic Spoiler does? Okay.
Yeah. So just scroll down to the bottom. They grouped them up by the deck.
Oh, did they? That's nice.
Yep.
I will pull that up then.
So Thundermane Dragon's kind of boring. It's just top deck play for dragons.
Sure.
But it does give your dragons haste with power 4. So it does give not your dragons, but it does give the creature spells you cast haste. So they could come out swinging, which is nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Broodcaller Scourge is really good for dragon decks. 5 green for a 5/7 dragon. Flying, and whenever one or more of these you control deal combat damage to a player, you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to that damage from your hand onto the battlefield. I feel like dragons just feel like win more. You know? Like that's a win more card.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a way to make them like there's so many cards in this deck. Not so many. There's like a few cards in this deck that reduce the cost of dragons to make them so they're not win more. They're like win early, right? Like you get that shaman out that reduces cost of dragons. You get like does it have the artifact? I haven't looked ahead that reduces cost. I don't think it does.
No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have that. So I mean, if you're upgrading, there's what's it called, like Herald's Horn or something like that. Horn of the
Herald's Horn.
Herald's Horn. So like you put
That's
that.
not that doesn't add cost. Maybe
Is that just a +1/+1?
That's just a +1/+1.
Oh, okay. But there are a bunch of things that are like pick creature type, reduce cost by 1 or something, or I don't know. It's just dragons are just strong in general, right? But they are expensive, to your point. But you're in green, so that also doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. Something else that each of the decks have as well that is interesting is Will of the, and then the
clan,
the tribe, the clan, right? So this one is Will of the Teamer. 5 and a blue for a sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both.
Oof.
This one is create a token that's a copy of target permanent, except it's a 4/4 dragon creature with flying in addition to its other types.
Okay.
And target player draws cards equal to the greatest mana value among permanents you control.
That's a lot.
That's kind of interesting, though. Like, look, like the way it's worded, right? Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. So it doesn't even need to be one of your permanents. It could be
Yep.
any permanent on the battlefield.
Yep.
And it says target player. So if you had something that had like 15 mana value for some reason, you have Emrakul on the battlefield, you can deck your opponent by having them draw a ton of cards.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Not that it would ever happen if you manage to have something with a mana value
Yeah.
of 100.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
job.
I don't think that exists for
No,
one.
it doesn't. Oh, it
And
does in like unsets.
if you're getting to the point that someone's about to deck themselves and you can like do this, either you've been milling them a whole bunch for a while now, right?
Sure.
Or they've been desperately trying to deck themselves and have yet to find their win con and are like just shitting their pants.
Sure. Overall, I feel like the new cards that they're printing for this one, I'd say this is a 7. I think
I think so.
they're decent dragon cards.
Yeah.
Like nothing in here is making me go like but nothing in here is also making me go oh. And I think that's the perfect definition of a 7.
Okay. Fair enough.
All
Can you
right, creature
imagine
reprints, Tim.
if
Oh,
I
go ahead.
like make my soul ring a 4/4 dragon and then I kill you with my soul ring?
Now I can kill your soul ring.
Sure, but now I can kill you with my dragon ring.
That's true. All right, Tim, you are the dragon creature expert.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So one thing I will say, looking at the dragon card reprints, there's a lot of freaking red in this deck.
It is. I was gonna say the same thing. It is heavily red, and specifically in the creatures, which I guess tracks, right? Like dragons are often red,
Hmm.
but yeah, to your point, there's a lot of red. Actually, even the spells are pretty red.
Yeah, it's a very, very red deck.
It's very red. Brazel's gonna love it. He's gonna pull out those pesky blues and greens, and he's got himself a deck going.
Truth be told, though, like there's a decent amount of reprints for dragons in here.
I
Like, I'll
mean,
give them some credit.
Vengeful Ancestor, isn't that the card that Brazel was ranting about like 3 weeks ago?
Uh, maybe that you might be also talking about the one that like eats goblins,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it
which is
was
a different
Vengeful
one.
something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which card it was, but
Um,
Vengeful Ancestors goading stuff.
yeah. I mean, Atarka World Render is pretty good, giving all your dragons double strike. That's great. Steel Hellkite is really good for some removal.
Yep. I'm a fan of Atushi, the Blazing Sky, getting some of the dragons from
Oh, the Kamigawa.
Kamigawa in
Yeah,
here
yeah.
on they're the die triggers. Leyline Tyrant is a great reprint in here as
That's
well.
also really good. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been really nice to see like Goldspawn, but obviously they're not going to print that. Goldspan
Oh, Gold
Dragon.
Span. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see. There's nothing in here that strikes me as like, wow, that's an insane reprint. But they're all like decent.
So
I
the one that's actually not bad, it's only been printed once, is Nogi Draco Zealot.
Nogi Draco sell it. Oh
He's
yeah,
only been printed in Game Night, but he's good. Like he's decently good for 3 mana to turn him into a 5/5 drawing flying dragon. That also is a cost reducer. Like that's a good reprint.
sure. But I mean, look, there's one, two, three. There's three cards right there in like that span that reduce cost of dragons. So like,
Good. That's what this deck needs.
yeah, that's my point. Is like
The
you say they're
yeah.
win more, but you get a couple of these boys out there and they're win right now.
They're win even more.
um,
So, what do you think overall, Tim?
I think overall it's good. I would say probably the theme of this deck is going to be it's a 7. I would say
I think
nothing.
so. This is such a perfectly average deck to me.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good.
I feel like dragons as a kindred are the I'll just put whatever dragons I feel like in the deck that match this color and it'll be fine.
Yep.
And that's like I don't know, like I wish there was a unique way to build dragons other than just I'm going to get dragons and figure out how they work. Like they will work. Like there's no thought to it, I guess. The thought is what dragon is my commander?
Sure. Well, I don't know that I agree with that because you're already saying you're just sitting down and figuring out what dragons you want to put in there, but then you're saying there's no thought. What I think what you're
No,
saying is
what I'm saying is if you pick a commander for your dragon deck, in those colors, it doesn't matter what dragon you pick because it'll be fine.
I don't know that that's completely true.
A lot of true.
I think you just don't like dragons because they're better than squirrels, and that pisses you off.
I can guarantee I have one more with a squirrel deck than you have a dragon deck.
Yeah, because your squirrel deck is like fucking
Amazing.
absurd, and
I know, isn't it great?
my,
I have several tribal decks or kindred decks.
your squirrel deck is just a combo deck that has squirrels painted on.
And
So I don't want to hear it.
and your point?
The thought what's the thought process Chris put into that deck is what squirrel combos are there? Google what squirrel combos are there. I shall make that deck.
I put a lot of squirrel cards in there regardless of if they're good or not. You're telling me Tolsky makes a big difference in that deck?
He is a squirrel and I think therefore gives you benefit.
Okay.
Just
Anyway,
saying.
we should
Also,
be talking about
Tusky,
dragons.
yeah, because you get forest walk and everything, don't you?
No.
What's
No,
his face?
he's the one that lets you draw a single card. The
No.
Chatterfang is the one with Forest Walk.
Yeah, but Toski is indestructible too, right?
Yeah, and he has to attack. He's a 1/1 that has to attack, and if he goes through, you get to draw a card. That's it.
And then can't you give things like can't you buff them
No,
up?
that's all he does.
What does Chatterfang do? Chatterfang does more than one thing.
Chatterfang is the one that anytime you make a token, make that token and a squirrel.
And then something
And he
else.
has a black mana, sack X squirrels. Target creature gets +X -X until end of turn.
Yeah, so you just do plus X minus X, whatever is.
That would kill him. Tolsky's like a 1/1.
Is Toski a 1/1? I thought it was like a 3/3.
No.
Oh, it is a 1/1. Okay, never mind.
Did I not spell Toski? Yeah, he's a 1/1. Can't be countered, indestructible, attacks each combat enable, and if he deals combat damage, draw a card. For 4 mana. And you know what? He's still in the deck.
Oh.
And you know what? I'm going to replace him with Sandy Cheeks.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, is Sandy Cheeks just...
It's just Tolsky.
Yeah, it's just Toski.
Actually, I have this special guest in there right now. Maybe I want to keep that one.
Chris,
That's much cooler.
You don't put any cards in a deck that you don't find value in. I know you well enough to know that that's a bold-faced lie to be like Toski does nothing. He probably synergizes with one random card, and you were like, "This is a thing." Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
All right, we're off topic.
I know we are.
Creature reprints. This is a 7. So good job on making the perfectly average deck.
Oh my god. Is this how you're going to be the whole time?
Instant sorcery. This is your set, Tim, and even you don't want to go to pre-release.
We've established that there's different reasons.
I know. All right, spells. Instants and sorceries.
I think...
Blasphemous Act. Eldraine. It's right there.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Blasphemous Act.
I don't think that makes it Eldraine.
That's what our rankings determine.
Is if Blasphemous Act is in there, it puts it in Eldraine?
Basically, what we've said in the past.
I don't think that's right. Because
Was
I can
this from
see
Blasphemous Act?
Living Energy absolutely had Blasphemous Act, and that's a 7.
You don't get it.
Chris, if there's red in a Commander precon, there's going to be Blasphemous Act. I don't think that's like our baseline. That's like saying Soul Ring brings artifacts up to a 7. We ignore
Speaking
it.
of, you're going to be very excited about the next deck. Who's in it?
The next what?
The next deck we're going to review. Wait till you see which creature's in it. The Dream.
Anyway, I think it's probably still a 7, if I'm being honest. It's
I
got
mean, rapid hybridization is a great card. It's got good ramp with Farseek, Kodama's Reach, Migration Path, all those.
Chaos
So
Warp.
it's
Like,
Chaos Warp's a good removal. Spit
Yeah.
Flame's a good removal. Storm's Wrath is a good board wipe in red. Blasphemous Act, obviously. Like, it's a good shell. Like, there's a good shell there.
yeah.
It's fine. It's just fine. It's got targeter removal. It's got mass removal. It's a
Yeah.
fine shell. Artifacts, enchantment reprints. So the rocks are just rocks, right? The only one that's nice there is Dragon's Horde,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
which is a good reprint.
And it's good for this deck specifically because one, it's an ETB, right? So your Rennie triggers are going to happen, and you're going to get the treasure.
You want to read it out for our listeners?
Yeah, might as well. Costs 3 mana, 3 colorless mana, and says it's an artifact. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde. Remove all gold. Tap it. Remove all gold counter from Dragon's Horde. Draw a card. Then you could also tap it to add 1 mana of any color. I mean,
No, just be clear. It's not all gold. It's 1 gold. Just remove a gold.
oh, a gold. Sorry, my bad.
That is a very big difference.
That is, yeah.
I mean, this is great early game, and it turns good late game when you need the card draw.
Sure.
So it's a great card for dragons. In terms of enchantments,
Temur Ascendancy.
Dragon's Tempest is a great reprint. Temur Ascendancy is a great reprint.
Elemental Bond's not bad. It's pretty good.
Frontier Siege is the enchantments in this are actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Again, though, like, I gotta say a 7. Like, nothing in here is like, oh my god, we have to have that.
Yeah, but that's also not like. I think honestly, if it were just enchantments, it probably would have been Eldraine. Like, I feel like those are pretty good.
Yeah, the artifacts bring it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, look at that. Look at that straight 7. Have we ever done that before?
No, I mean we got a.
Almost. Blame Game.
Yeah. Wow,
The
which
only
one was
thing
that?
we said was Baby's first deck for fun factor because we were like, who cares?
And it sounds like that's what
Nelly
you're going to give
Borka,
it when we
yeah.
get to this deck too.
Probably. All right, lands.
I think
So-
Baby's first deck.
Baby's first deck for lands. Yeah,
It has Haven of the Spirit Dragon. That's not
so
terrible.
I'm pretty sure they all will.
Well, let's go
No, they
look.
don't. No, they don't. No. No. No, it's the only one with Haven of the Dragon, whatever.
Suck my butt, Chris.
Okay, gross. Why would they do that? I guess it's the only one that's like super heavy dragon. But even then, it's still like, it's a fine land.
Chris, lands are our absolute worst thing that we review in basically every single deck. The fact that it has a utility land that we're saying is like, oh, that might be useful, I think has to bump it up to at least a 7, if not more. It's also got like the nice Rockfell Vale. That's a good one.
Great.
It does still have the Scry lands, which just pisses me off to no lit.
That's what I mean. Like, this Baby's first deck because of the stupid...
It's got Temple of the
Baby-
Dragon Queen too.
Baby's first Eldraine is what we're doing. Which averages out to this is a 7.
Baby's first Eldraine.
Yeah. because it's whatever. Like, I don't know. If
There's
I
just no way to combo with it, so you're just going to be a little pissy boy about it.
No, that's not true. I feel like the way I enjoy these kind of precons is if I feel some kind of emotional stimuli or emotional response to how I feel this deck is going to play out. And like thinking about it, I've already in my head figured out exactly how this deck is going to play. So I don't even feel the need to play it because I already know what it's going to do.
Yeah, Chris, your nose is stuck so far up in the air you can't even read the cards. Like
My nose is pointed down,
you're
brother.
it's a clearly a turn of phrase, Chris.
Get it. But
You're
like,
being so stuck up about this. It's a precon.
yeah, but reading through it, it's fine. It's a fine precon. But like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe how I feel. I don't. I just feel like it was a
You
thrown together deck for Teamer.
you wanted something more. You wanted them to change how dragons work. They didn't, and now you're
No, no, no. I don't want them to change how dragons work. I wanted them to put a little bit more thought into Teamer than, oh wow, let's take something that like the colors do and like a very simplified version of it. It's just lazy. That's what I feel like this deck is. It's a good deck, but it's a lazy deck.
I
This
fair,
looks like
fine.
this looks like a Magic player's first deck.
They're precon. That's what they're supposed to do.
No, they're not.
That's literally what the precons are for, is to get people who have not built commander decks into playing the format. And frankly, I think this would be a great one to give somebody who has no clue about how Magic the Gathering works, right? This
Sure.
is and get it, like, moving into our next like segment of it, out of the box playability. Fucking Eldraine might even
Absolutely.
be CEDH. It's gonna
I agree with you. Like you could slap this on the table and it will be perfectly fine. Like it's gonna work.
Yeah. And it's easy to understand, which is what they're trying. I feel like that should be the goal, right? I don't want a deck that's going to be hyper complicated for these precons, because then you can't, like, you can't give that to somebody and be like, hey, let's learn how to play Magic. Here's this deck that will help you just play the game without overcomplicating it. And you're just
So
like, I wish
I don't
Teamer didn't do Teamer things.
No,
I
no,
wish
stop,
it did
stop,
different Teamer
stop.
things.
That's not what I sound like.
Yes, it is.
I don't expect them to print like a CEDH deck. Like I don't expect that. I understand that these are the precons. Right? But I think it's okay for us to want a little bit more than turn right. I don't want it doesn't need a combo. Like a good deck doesn't need a combo. I'm fine with decks not needing combos. I have plenty of decks that aren't combo based.
I can think of like one, maybe two.
Name them, because I can.
Your equipment deck.
Yep.
This is gonna take me a second. That's all I got.
Okay. Equipment deck. My ETB deck with Yarok.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll give
My
you that.
Eldrazi deck. My Ivy deck.
No.
Ivy's
Ivy?
a poison deck. That's a poison deck, not a combo deck.
Okay, but you're using combos to get people to get poison and shit.
Playing. Hold on. Are you saying that proliferate is combo?
She literally, when you're, I'm not saying a combo is probably not the right word, because I know you define combo strictly as infinite, right?
Are you confusing combo with synergy?
We are getting so far off. Ivy literally has the most complicated playstyle, because you have to target her or target other things, copy it onto her, have it happen to other things, and then you're just like building up. And then, yes, sure, at the end of it, you're going to be like, okay, now proliferate, right? But most of the time, you're doing these weird things, copying and like things that target other creatures, copying on her, getting some random benefit. If you gave that deck to a new player, I think they would go cross-eyed.
Yeah, I don't expect them to make a deck like that.
So So maybe it's not a strict combo deck by definition that you probably, first off, it's in Simic, so you absolutely have a combo in there somewhere.
This isn't Simic.
It's not in Simic, it's in Teamer.
It's in Simic with Burn. It's Burn Simic.
We're not talking. You switched on to your decks, Chris. Why are we having this discussion?
I don't know, man. Because I have a feeling about this deck and you don't agree with it, and that's fine.
And we don't have to agree.
Yeah, we don't have to agree. But you're telling me I'm wrong.
No, I'm telling you, I think you're getting way too stuck up about the fact that they made a dragon deck that does dragon things. And what did you want? You wanted them to do something different than dragons in this dragon-themed deck about dragons with a clan of dragons?
Okay, what if we review the next deck and it's the exact same thing, just in different colors? Would you then be okay still?
I think, well, one, the color pie, like if they're doing the exact same thing and they're completely different colors, right? Then that's bad. That's bad design, right?
Okay.
But this isn't Teamer, and you got mad because you're like, that's the most Teamer thing I've ever heard of. Why is that a bad thing? It's Teamer. It's supposed to do Teamer things.
Fine, you got me. This is not a deck I would buy.
That's all you had to say.
This is not a deck for me, but I'm also not your entry-level player.
Sure.
Right? If you wanted to introduce somebody to Magic, this is a perfect deck to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's going to come out swinging.
Yeah. And I'm also, by the way, I am excited when they print like really neat things in these precons, right? But I don't think that, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It just felt like it was coming across way harsher than I feel like it should have for this deck. This deck is like well put together, right? Like, and it's got decent like synergy. It might not have combos.
So my problem with this deck, maybe I did not express myself well, is even the new cards where they try to do something unique, it just feels like more of the same. And maybe that's because just dragons as a kindred, they're running out of ideas. Which could be fine, right? Yeah. They ran out of ideas with slivers.
They sure did, yeah.
Right? And there's only so many ways you can impulse draw, and they put it in this deck. So, like, I don't know, like, nothing, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when I see new cards, I get excited about the new cards. Nothing about this deck, new cards, commanders, anything, excited me.
I guess that's fair, but that I think is why I'm harping on it, is because we have a whole category for that, right? Shit on it and fun factor, because that is our most subjective one. But I feel like you're saying some of this stuff is like, this isn't great because it doesn't excite me. I don't know that that's fair.
Well, I agree. Everything that we've ranked it, I agree with. I can be like I feel like I can say, like, I feel like these cards are good, but me personally, I don't care.
That's fair.
That's all I'm trying to say is, like, if you like dragons, this is a good deck. Maybe I just don't like dragons.
I think that's the point I was trying to make, is I just don't think you find dragons interesting, which is fine, right?
The same way with zombies. I don't find zombies interesting.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
Oh my god. Fun factor. Tim, shove it down my throat.
Actually, I think it's Baby Fish deck. I don't think it's that fun.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's a solid 7 for me for fun factor. It's a dragon deck, right? I have this deck, but I think that is what would hold me back. I'm not going to buy this deck because I already have it, right? But I love the deck that I have, so fun factor I think is pretty good. Oh, that did not sound good. Oh, you are a robot. What happened?
Did I break my microphone?
You did. You screamed so loud you broke your microphone.
We're about to only review one deck and do 4 next week. Okay, so here's what I guess we can sum this up in a combined point of view for all of our listeners who, for some reason, still continue to listen to us.
Yeah, not after this one.
If you have built a dragon deck already, this deck will not be as good as it. If you are looking for an entry-level dragon deck to start, this is a great deck to start with.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh my god, we did it. Let's move on. Overall, this is a 7.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
I can't argue that. This is a perfectly great entry-level dragon deck.
Yep.
We're moving on to Abzan.
You guys heard it. Chris said it was great.
We're moving on to Abzan.
Abzan armor. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, the face commander for Abzan armor is Fellow-Thar the Steadfast. Let me pull him up. 1 white, black, green for an 05 human warrior. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have defender. 3 and tap, sack another creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness, then discard cards equal to its power. So obviously this is a wall deck, right?
Yeah.
Which
So you're gonna get annoyed when I say this.
Abzan does walls. I know what you're gonna say.
No, actually, that is not what I was
Oh.
gonna say.
Okay.
How is this guy the only difference between this guy and Arcades is that third ability, right? The first two are exactly Arcades, right? Am I saying his name right? I think I am. I think it's Arcades.
Arcades the strategist. Whenever a creature with defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
Okay, so
And
that's
each creature
different.
you control with defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have defender.
So it's very, very close with the addition of the card draw, and then he doesn't have the sacrifice.
But
Although
he's also in Bant. Arcades is in a different color. He does not have blue.
you're right. You're right. It is banned. You're right.
Yeah. So sure. And this, like, when you have a defender deck, like, all the defender cards, all the defender commanders do this ability.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I'm not disagreeing with that. But that third ability is pretty dang good.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know, like, basically that's because a lot of the walls that you're playing are low mana, high defense. Like, you can sack like a 1/2 wall and draw 6 cards off of it.
Yeah.
For 3 mana, that's huge.
That's honestly really, yeah. I think he's pretty good.
So there's a couple other cards that do similar stuff to him. So let me.
In these colors, because I think I can think of one that's not in these colors.
So Doran does this ability. So Doran's also, but Doran would be in here, right? Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So he's the closest.
Yes. Yeah, because Arcades is only defenders.
Yes. So he's kind of neat for Abzan, right? Because, like I said, that other guy's the only one that does an ability like this, and he takes that. He, like, that last ability. I mean, that's okay. I think all of the commanders, all the face commanders, are going to be this way. It's going to be like each of their colors doing something.
That would make sense.
Right. So but very clear, cut and dry. Each of the colors do something. So like the top one is green, the middle one is white, the bottom one is black.
Are you including evergreen keywords in that?
Like what, defender?
Yeah.
I mean, the defender. No, it's a replacement effect for defender essentially.
Then I think that just looking ahead, the Jeskai does not follow that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
For either of the cards that I can see.
Well, good. Maybe it'll change it up a little bit.
Maybe.
Overall, though, like, I kind of like this guy. I think if you want to build a wall deck, he's a great include.
Yeah.
Or he's a great commander for it. If you want to build a big booty deck,
yeah,
he's awesome.
I think the thing is, there are a few choices you could make, so it's really just what colors do you want, right? Do you want Bant? Do you want this? What's Doran in? Is Doran also Abzan?
Abzan, yeah. So it's Abzan or Bant. Do you want Arcades as your commander or a turtle?
Or a turtle, yeah. It's a good question.
That's really the question of the day, right? Dragon or turtle?
I think he's pretty good. What I'm trying to what I'm struggling with is he Eldraine?
He's a very high 7 at a minimum.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I mean,
I
his
am leaning high 7.
very high 7.
Yeah. This is such a good and definitive ranking scale we have.
Whatever, man. We're adding decimals. Okay.
Yeah.
What are we gonna be, Dave Portnoy, walking around? 4-2. Listen, look at that crust. Okay, okay. At least we have something funny to go off of.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, you want to read off the alternate commander?
Yes. Betor, Ancestor's Voice, or it might be, I don't know how you pronounce that. Betor? Betor?
Bator.
Betor?
I have no idea.
Ancestor's Voice, it costs 2 white, black, green for a 3/5 spirit dragon with flying and lifelink, and says at the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on up to one other target creature you control equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Return up to one target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's
Pretty darn good.
pretty good.
I mean, this guy's going to be an easy include in a life gain deck, right? Like, I have my food deck.
Oh, that
I
is
would easily
Abzan,
put
yeah.
him in there.
It's weird that a food deck with hobbits is Abzan.
That's what Bilbo is.
Well, that's my point. Is like, I guess Bilbo
Hobbits, they
when he
like
gets
food,
corrupted.
which is green.
No, it's the color pie that I'm. Why is it? Hobbits, I feel like, are the least like black color.
I'm explaining it, right? They like food, which is green.
Okay.
They're very chivalrous, which is white. And they murder, which is the black.
There we go.
I mean, let's be real. Like, how many things did Sam kill on his 2-year hike?
I guess you could say that like Bilbo got corrupted over time by the ring, and that turned him to the black mana.
Yeah. Well, they identified food as a green-black mechanic. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, hobbits who like food get to be green and black.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's pretty strong. This Betor Ancestor's Voice. I like the graveyard shenanigans. I'm a sucker for that. Life gain, and he's not like, it's not just the amount of life that he caused you to gain, although he does like build on that, and then you can just make him that much bigger with the +1/+1s, and you get a whole bunch more. He feeds himself.
It's a very interesting dynamic here because he has an ability when you gain life and when you lose life.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could be a very good like aristocrats style kind of commander where you're pumping a bunch of creatures, but then also paying life to like sack those creatures. So you're getting those consistent benefits from using him every turn.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to be. You're right. I mean, that's interesting, and I
He's
like
way more thought than the face commander.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
This is one you got to think about.
And that's kind of what I was gonna get at, is that like he is more complicated, and what's more is like reading that as a slog. Like if you hand that to somebody who doesn't play Magic and you tell them like, okay, what does this card do? They're like, I have no clue. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean the face commander is now your butts can attack.
Yeah, and he would be getting you 5 mana or 5 life instead of the 3.
He would be. I think he's a 7. I think he's also a high 7, but I'd also say 7.
And they do count life gain and life lost separately, correct? It's not net.
Unless they happen at the same time.
Sure. Okay.
And then it's net.
Yeah. But like you could ping yourself for 5 and then swing with him for 5, and then that's 5 on each side.
As long as they are separate instances, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I think
I like him. I think he's a 7.
like him. I think he's a 7.
Yeah.
All right, new cards. This one actually has a really good one, or a couple really good ones. So Arbor Adherent, 3 green, 3 and a green for a 2/4 dog druid. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is the greatest toughness among other creatures you control.
That's pretty good.
So cards like Tree of Perdition. Yeah, Tree of Redemption, Tree of Perdition. That's like a 013, brother.
Yeah, I mean that's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
How about 13 mana? Let's just get that turn 5.
and then how about with Jaws of Defeat, also on the field, 3 and a black. Whenever a creature you control enters, target opponent loses life equal to the difference between that creature's power and its toughness.
That's a huge card for this deck.
So equal to the difference between that creature's power and its toughness. Technically, the way that's worded, wouldn't that be negative? So
Absolute value.
I know. I
They
know.
should have put the bars.
Yeah.
But like you drop like that 013. Hey, you take 13 damage just cuz.
Yeah.
Now, Jaws of Defeat is a really cool card.
Yeah.
I love
Especially
like
for
this is the
walls.
kind of deck I love because I love like unique play styles, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so like you're obviously building this deck with a ton of um like alternate toughness power commander cards. So you have
Yeah.
to really like look through magic cards and try to really find out what you can get the most out of, you know.
What I'm interested to see, and I haven't looked ahead yet, is how many dragons are disjointed like that. I feel like it's not a lot.
It's a decent number,
Is it? Okay.
surprisingly.
Okay.
It's more than you would think.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure every creature in here, most of the creatures in here are that way. And for real, like this deck doesn't really have many dragons in it.
It really doesn't. It's got quite a few vampires too.
It does. So obviously, Beator does. Shadrick's Silver Quill is a 2/5.
Oh, he's a good one
Dragonlord
too.
Dramoka is a 5/7.
Okay.
Protector of the Waste is a 5/5. Uh, Zatalpa, who's not a dragon, but is only a 4/8.
Yeah, but look at that value. 8 mana to get a flying
Mm,
double strike vigilance trample indestructible. Why don't they
deal.
print this more?
Crazy. Okay, you want the real moneymaker in this one? Canopy Gargantuan. 5 green green for a 7/7 dragon. Flying word 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a number of +1/+1 counters on each other creature you control equal to that creature's toughness.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. You want to talk win more? See, that card excites me.
Yeah, that. Oh, okay.
That card excites me.
But Chris, I don't like that because that's just kind of what green does, and it's kind of like derivative of just green. You know, like
Yeah,
why
but it's a
couldn't it do
damn good
green
card.
things?
It's a
But
damn good card.
why couldn't it be do green things but less green? You know?
Okay. Good board wipe and tip the scales. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Sack a creature. When you do, all creatures get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is that sacrifice creature's toughness. This is your big booty deck,
Absolutely.
right? And I think the cards that they're printing that are new give it was this from Eldraine.
Okay.
Because in big booty decks, these cards are awesome.
Did we do the will card?
We haven't done the will. You want to read that one off?
Sure, yeah. Will of the Abzan, 3 and a black for a sorcery. Choose one if you control your commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Any number of target opponents each sacrifice a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls and lose 3 life. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
That's a good one. That's definitely better than the previous one.
I don't. I'll be honest. I do not remember what
Will
the
the
other one
Tamer.
is. Well, I remember the name. I don't remember what it does.
Draw and make a dragon token.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, they're both pretty good,
I feel. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're both good. Like they're all the wills are pretty darn good.
It's pretty solid. Yeah. You could argue one might be better than the other, but I feel like Will of the Teamer was still decent.
Yeah, but overall though, I like these new cards, especially for big booty decks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you're thinking
All
about
right,
building a wall deck, which I actually was at one point. Ooh,
you should build this guy.
one
Get this
thing.
deck.
This one somehow has even more creatures than the other one.
It's got a lot.
It's 41 creatures if you include the commander.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's got 41 creatures, but that makes sense because they all have butts.
True. True. And it's a pretty low cost deck too. Actually, it kind of averages out as you start getting towards the bottom. It starts to.
Yeah.
It's decent. It's got a decent
All right.
curve.
New creature reprints now. I always support an Arboreal Grazer. What a great card.
Okay.
It's a ramp in like turn 1.
Sure.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hornet Nest is in here. That's always fun. I love me a good Rocks Faith Mender. That's a good reprint. We already said it, but Tree of Redemption is a great reprint. It's exchange your life total with Tree of Redemption's toughness. So, like, if you're like at 2 life, let's get back up to 13. You figure out a way to give this guy a bunch of +1/+1s. Easy. Ikra Shadiki is a really good reprint in this one. Ikra Shadiki the Usurper.
Oh, yeah.
Seedborn Muse is in here, which is crazy good. The Silver Quill card is really good. Dramoka is really good. Like, they put some good reprints. Zatalpa immediately makes this Eldraine.
Oh, my God. If anything, you should drag it down.
But no, for real, like this, like to me, there's good reprints in here.
I agree, but I do want to make the case that Zatalpa is not a good reprint.
No, Zatalpa's certainly not. I'm just making a joke.
He
I'm
doesn't
absolutely
even
making a
have
joke.
lifelink. If he had lifelink, I could at least like say, okay, yeah, that's pretty decent for this deck. But he
But I mean,
doesn't.
an 8/8 flying vigilance trample indestructible. You know,
Sure.
he's got a lot on him.
But that's the weird thing is he is an effective 8/8, but he's not.
He's a 4/8 that
Yeah.
has double strike. Sure.
Because double strike's only command or not command is only attack, right? Like if he's defending,
No,
it's
it's defend too.
Is it? Is it okay?
Really, Tim? Aren't you a level 3 judge?
I'm a platinum rewards level judge.
Okay. Would you agree that creature reprints also was this from Eldraine?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Instant and sorcery reprints. So swords. Anguished Unmaking.
I was just gonna
is a
say
really good
anguished
one.
unmaking.
I mean, it's fine. I'd say this is a 7. There isn't anything in the source. It's your pretty standard Abzan. We're gonna have some removal and call it a day.
I have a soft spot for anguished unmaking. I don't think it brings it up enough, but I just love that card. So like anytime I see it, I'm happy.
I mean, it's a great card. I love Anguished Unmaking.
Despark is also like a good card as well. Like
It's situational. It's great
Sure.
against another dragon deck.
sure, yeah.
It would not be that good against this deck.
I mean, there's a decent amount of things that cost more than 4 mana.
Yeah, they got some higher power stuff later, but
Yeah.
you're even going to get to the point where you're hard casting Zatalpa.
In this deck, you might have to.
This deck is survive until you can Zatalpa.
just draw out the game till Zatalpa hits the field, man.
There it is.
That's my strategy, Captain.
All right. All right, moving on. Artifact enchantment reprints. They're all kind of boring except for Staff of Completion.
Yep.
Completion.
Yep.
That's a really good reprint. Kolfiner's Urn is in here as well. Let me pull that up and we'll read that one off. That's not one you hear talked about much.
I was just gonna say I thought it was a new card.
It's from Lorwyn.
Oh wow, that's old.
3 mana for an artifact. Whenever a creature with toughness 4 or greater is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may exile it. At the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more cards have been exiled with this artifact, sack it. If you do, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. I think that's really good.
Yeah, that is really good. How have I never heard of that before?
Great question, because it's a one-time reprint from Lorwyn.
And it's there's 24,000 cards or whatever.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of feel like this is a 7 for artifact enchantments, mostly because there's like no enchantments.
Yeah, there's 2 reprints, right? Or is one of those not? Jaws of Defeat is new.
That's a brand new one.
Yeah,
Assault
Yeah.
formation's boring. Behind the scenes is boring.
Yeah.
The skulk is nice, but still. All right, let's get into lands. They have a Bajuka Bog.
Ooh, that's like our one thing.
That's our thing, but they also have the Scrylands, all three of them.
Like I at this
We
point
should just
it's
give
like
up. Like, we
yeah.
should just accept the fact that they're going to be in there.
Yeah,
I
100%.
think lands, this is a 7.
Yeah,
It's
it's not bad.
fine.
It's
Nothing
worse, I
crazy.
think, than like the last one.
I think so. I think it is worse.
Yeah.
Out of the box playability,
This
I think it's
one's
pretty good.
I think it's going to play pretty well. I think this one is definitely more complicated than the last one, especially if you're running the alternate commander. But at
Oh, yeah. But we don't judge it based on the alternate commander.
well, but the alternate commander is part of it, right? Like if you draw that card, even if you're not playing it as your commander, you need to understand how it's going to work.
But for sure, though, the deck is not based around using the alternate commander.
No, I agree with that too.
So sure, you're going to get him, and he's going to be kind of cool. But like, you're not building around. Like, this deck is not built around that.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit and let you fix your mic because you're getting a little robot-y again.
Oh, okay.
It's like coming in and out, but
Weird.
yeah. So I think like the lands are fine. The out of box playability pretty good. Was this from Eldraine? Yeah, I'm confident with the was this from Eldraine. The fun factor. I think this one is, I think in my opinion, probably more fun than the other one.
I agree.
And especially if you find walls boring, then yeah, this is not going to be the deck for you. But
Yeah.
if you're interested, this could be a great wall commander to start with, and maybe pick it apart, add some other ones in.
Am I better now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I like him. That's all I got. I like this deck.
Okay.
I think it's much more interesting to me than turn left dragons,
Okay.
turn right dragons.
You tap to the right?
I tap to the right. You tap to the left?
Yeah.
That's how you tap? I've never noticed that before.
You tap to the right? You tap clockwise.
Yeah, I tap clockwise.
Oh, no, I tap counterclockwise.
Do you really?
Yeah, do you tap clockwise?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is gross.
What? Who are we? How have we never noticed this about each other? I guess because we're always sitting across from each other, so it looks natural.
Oh yeah, it's going the way we're expecting.
Yeah. All right. So what do you want to say? Fun factor. This is a 7, I guess.
Hold on, AI overview says I'm right.
Whatever. All right. I'm gonna say fun factor very high 7 if you like butts. If you like butt decks.
And you
Very
can't
high
lie.
7. Very high 7 if you like butt decks.
And you like big butt decks and you cannot lie.
All right. I'll put big butt decks. Overall, oh, that's fun factor. Overall, I think it should also be very high 7 if you like big butt decks. The exact same.
Yeah, I mean, I think for that fun factor and overall, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Being able to draw 17 cards because you sacked a Tree of Perdition is going to be a ton of fun. What?
This top comment when I looked up Reddit tapping clockwise or counterclockwise, and Tabac Rules says there are 2 ways to tap a permanent: correctly and counterclockwise.
Thank you.
It's funny, but it's wrong.
The text reads to the right, so you tap the text to the right.
Oh, like you mean the tap symbol?
Yeah, the tap symbol says go right. You are literally tapping in the incorrect direction.
Yeah, but like it just doesn't seem right.
No, what? It does, because that's how they intend it to be.
It doesn't. I don't think it's correct.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right. So we're about an hour now. Do you think we could fit the last one in?
It's been about an hour. I mean, we'd have to move.
We did argue a lot.
We did. So
I
if this
think
one's
we can move.
divisive,
Let's move. If this is
Okay.
divisive, we're in deep doo doo. But what we got? It's Sultai. Oh, God damn it! It's Sultai.
And it's called Sultai Arisen, Chris. It's a rising from the death.
Read the command. We're just gonna do it. We'll get through this quick. Read the
Hell
commander.
yeah. Cotis, I lost him. Cotis Sibzig Champion. He costs black, green, blue for a 3/3 zombie warrior, another of Chris's favorites. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard by exiling 3 other cards from your graveyard in addition to paying its other costs. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from the graveyard or if it was cast from the graveyard, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Cotis.
Are they afraid to make another Mully?
It sounds like it. They're like dancing on the line of Mully.
Yeah. I mean, okay, it's Sultai. It's graveyard stuff. Huzzah!
Yeah.
Why would I not just play Mully?
Because people give you shit when you play Mully.
I get that, right? I mean, I get this is only 3 mana,
Yeah.
right? Mully's like 80.
Yeah.
But like, why? This just seems like why don't I just play like if I'm gonna play this, I'll just play Mully because it does it better.
I agree. I would put this in Mully specifically because you don't have to have his second ability. You don't have to use his first ability. Right?
Now, what I will say though, yes, you're right. You don't have to use the first. He could be like a secret like Tron tech. Like if you could set up the graveyard crawler combo with him, he's infinitely big.
Actually, you know what, Chris? I'm gonna take back. I do think I agree with what you're saying. Sorry, I'm not trying to, but I had a thought of my own, and I had to run with it before it flew out of my brain. I agree with you. He could have like a Secret Tron synergy, and I think that's probably a fun, interesting way to like build him. I would not put this guy in Mully because you have to exile other cards from your graveyard, and that's
what I mean. He would be terrible in Mully.
Yeah.
I mean, the only nice part about it is with Mully, you could theoretically get 2 creatures back. Right, because Mully only brings you 1 of each type of permanent.
Once during each of your turns. He only gets once during each of your turns.
If you have him and Mully out, you can get 2 creatures.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
However, I think building this guy actually like Secret Graveyard Recursion Tron sounds really neat.
Yeah.
You know, and you get
I can see that.
Sir Conrad.
Well, if he's not in this deck, I quit.
You quit Magic forever?
Yeah. No, he's too strong. They're afraid to add him in here.
He's not in it.
Yeah, he's too good.
They know. They know.
They're
just trying to increase the price of him.
Yeah.
Overall, though, like I kind of like this guy.
I like him too.
Very high 7. I think a 7.
I think a 7. Yeah.
I think a 7 is fair.
Yeah.
All right. The alternate commander is Taval the Balanced Scale. Let me pull him up. 1 black, green, blue for a 4/4 Spirit Dragon, flying, and whenever they attack, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Now that is pretty dang cool.
I like that a lot. I like him way better than the Face Commander.
Face Commander's fine. This is cool, right?
Yeah.
Because every single time he attacks, you get that bottom ability too.
Yep.
Because it doesn't even need to be a land that you milled that turn.
You sure don't.
So if you every single time you get each of the fetch lands in here, your fetch lands have basically turned into 2/2 zombies.
I love it, man. I think it's really good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so awesome ramp for Sultai. Great way to get some butts on the battlefield.
And he's got flying. He's a 4/4, so like he's there might come a time when you don't attack with him, but like most of the time, you're probably swinging, right? Like
He passes the bear test.
he passes the bear test, and he's a flying bear. I
Hmm.
really like him. I think he's
Yeah,
cool.
and I think he's strong too. I would say was this from Eldraine.
Yep.
I definitely think he's going to be really strong.
You pair him with a Sidisi. You're cooking
Oh,
with soup.
uh,
Buddy, you got yourself a broth.
once again, also Sir Connie.
He's good in every single deck.
Yeah, that's true. All right, new cards. So might as well read out Will of the Sultai.
Yeah,
4 and a green, 4 sorcery. Choose one. If you control your commander, you may choose both. Target player mills 3 cards. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of lands you control. It gains trample until end of turn.
that's pretty good.
That's also really good.
I like that.
That's really neat. What else we got?
Um,
This is going to be an expensive deck to build because of all the 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 fetch lands you're going to have to play.
yeah. Um, I like Taval's Judgment. That's not too bad. Whenever one or more of your cards leave your guard. Actually, never mind. Oh, that hasn't been chosen this turn. I like that.
Mhm.
Whenever one or more cards, I should start off with the cost.
Yeah, read the card.
Yeah, 2 and a black for an enchantment. It says whenever one or more of your cards leaves your graveyard, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure token, and then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Honestly, like, and that's every turn, right?
Mhm.
That you potentially, right? You got to be getting things out of your graveyard, but you might be able to do that on other people's turns.
Yeah. I do really like Steward of the Harvest. 3 and a green for a 3/3 human druid. When this creature enters, exile up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard. Creatures you control have all activated abilities of all land cards exiled with this creature. Your squirrels are now fetch lands.
God. And it comes back to squirrels.
Always it's about squirrels. You know how it is. Oh man. Could you imagine just like, all right, I made 6 squirrels. I got 6 lands. Let's roll.
Oh my god, yeah.
This card's cool. I like this card a lot.
Oh my god.
Floral Evoker's fine. Diviner of Mist is fine. Oh, actually, no. Diviner of Mist is really good. 4 and a blue for a 4/5 dragon. Flying. Whenever this creature attacks, mill 4 cards. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard with mana value 4 or less without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Talk about attack flashback. That's awesome.
That's really good.
I
Man,
really like these new cards.
this is a good deck.
This is a good deck.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe
all
we're
drain.
just both Sultai nerds.
I think that's pretty apparent.
Yeah. I mean, also new cards. Was this from Eldraine? Like, do you? Okay, here. Let me do this as an example. Do you see the difference between my excitement talking about these cards and the excitement I felt from Teamer Roar?
Yeah, yes, your excitement was never in question, right?
Yeah.
But I think you're talking about this differently because you're excited about it. Like when you talked about Team Aurora, you made the way it was coming across was that it was not good because you weren't excited about it, as if they had to be like mutually exclusive, and I don't think that's fair.
That's fine, but also I'm entitled to an opinion.
No, that 100%. That's why I was saying once you get to fun factor, absolutely shit all over
Tear it
it.
apart. Yeah. It's just shit all over it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So would you agree new cards was this from Eldraine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, moving in. Oh, they literally included the combo in here. Grave crawlers in the deck.
Oh man. See, and there's a combo. The
Hedron Crab is in the deck. Oh, I love a good Hedron Crab reprint.
Chris, when did you get a standing desk? Why is it lifting up?
Oh, man, my keyboard is floating right now.
It is. Hands free.
Douthie Voidwalker reprint.
Oh, I love it, Douthie
That's
Voidwalker.
huge. Spring Bloom Druid is in here. That's fun. Woe Strider. I always loved Woe Strider.
Whoa, Strider, that's good.
Wonder is in here, which is kind of a dumb card, but I love it. Obnixilis the Fallen is just absurdly strong and also definitely apparently needed a reprint. You can never go wrong with an Avenger Zendikar.
This is an interesting like mix of graveyard recursion and then also landfall. Like,
Do they really have to put Lord of Extinction in here?
yeah.
Hold on, how is Lord of Extinction that much money? How is he a $10 card right now?
Is he really?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
I did not expect him to be that much.
he's not that good. I guess he's decent, but like he's not that good. Has he just never had any reprints?
No, he's being reprinted a lot.
Is he that good? Am I missing something?
He's not that good.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying like he's not that good. Actually, one of my first mats was the printing of his invocation art, which I thought was really cool looking. Lord of Extinction, 3 black green for a star elemental. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. So sure, if you're doing a lot of milling, he's going to get juicy very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
but
he doesn't have trample, he doesn't have evasion, he doesn't have any of those kind of things.
Exactly. Like he's good, but he's not $10 good in my opinion.
I'm just surprised he's $10.
Yeah. Marin of Clan Neltoth. Did you say her already?
I did not.
Oh, she's amazing. In any Golgari, Sultai recursion deck, she is insane.
She was like one of the OG commanders for recursion.
Yeah. And for good reason.
For
right?
good reason. Yeah.
The only thing that holds her back is now that recursion spans basically all colors. It's like you're kind of like
you have her in Molly, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's just not the commander much anymore, right? She is,
She's a very good include.
Yeah, she's in the 99.
Would we say was this from Eldraine?
I would.
Or a very high 7?
I'm thinking Eldraine, frankly. I really like this. Like, did you say Jarad? He's also really good.
Mm-hmm.
You did say him? Okay, my bad.
I did not say him. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah.
He's also very good. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Instants and sorceries. There are 19. There are a lot.
Damn.
This is the Cultivate deck.
Yeah, well, I guess that's fair.
None of them. This is the only one with Cultivate.
Ooh, Life from the Loam?
That's a really good card.
It is really good. Oh, it's
got dredge.
Yeah.
It's got dredge. That's 1 in the green. Return up to 3 target land cards from the graveyard to your hand. Dredge 3.
Yeah.
What else we got? Living Death is always fun. That's always a good reprint. Casualties of War is cool. I didn't know this was a card. Afterlife of the Loam that's new.
That's new, yeah.
5 black for a sorcery. Delve. For each creature, choose up to 1 target creature card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. They're zombies. Okay. All right. So just get everybody's graveyards. That's cool.
And Treasure Cruise.
And Treasure Cruise. I think it's fine. This is a 7. There's nothing crazy. It's a good shell.
Agreed.
19's a lot.
19 is a lot. A lot of ramp too. Like a really good amount of ramp.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
To get Necropolis Fiend out at 9 mana.
Sure. Yeah.
Artifacts and enchantments, there's really nothing to really talk about here.
Literally
Conduit of Worlds is really the one.
That's not bad.
They don't even have the rocks, but that's because, whatever.
I mean, they got the 98, right? You've got Soul Ring and Arcane Signet.
That's always been there. Every deck has Soul Ring and Arcane Signet.
I think it is. I'm just talking about it now. Like there's 98 cards, right? Like they didn't want to do another Soul Ring,
Well,
and
they
then
make
they
it 97 because of Command Tower.
Oh yeah, good point. 97.
You know. Uh, but the big reprints here are Phyrexian Reclamation
That's a good one.
and Conduit of Worlds. So nothing huge. It's kind of boring, but this is a 7 because those two are good cards.
Yeah.
Lands.
Ooh.
They have a couple good lands in
I
here.
was gonna say, do you see what I see?
Is it Command Beacon?
It sure is Command Beacon.
Great card. Good way
Um,
to protect your commander from commander attacks.
yeah. They have a decent amount of like if you have the 2 or more lands. This one only has the 1, but I feel like every one of these decks has had at least one of them.
I think it's also important to note that there is only one temple in this deck.
Ooh,
So
it's
by that logic, we have to give it was this from Eldraine.
yeah, immediately.
Maybe that's what we do. The number of temples reduces the ranking by 1.
Maybe.
If there are 0 temples, CEDH.
Ooh, but Chris,
Uh-huh.
what about Crypt of Agadim?
That's a great land.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it?
Oh, sure. Everyone should know about Crypt of Agadim. Clearly, Chris. Crypt of Agadim, it's a land. It enters tapped, and you can tap it to add 1 black to your mana pool. You can pay 2 and tap it, add black to your mana pool for each black creature card in your graveyard.
Yeah, and you
Pretty
have a lot
solid.
of those in this deck. Yeah, it's good. It's like a slower. I don't know. I want to know slower is the right term, but it's like what's it called? Cabal Coffers.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. How long is it taking you to windmill slam Spore Frog in this deck?
I've already
Immediately.
done it.
I've already done it.
I've messaged Wizards and I said, "Hey, make a quick adjustment." And they messaged back and were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And then they said, "P.S. Is this to piss off Chris?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, it is."
Yeah. Out of the box playability. This is definitely the most complicated of the 3 we reviewed.
Yeah, recursion isn't I think a little inherently. It's not super difficult, but like getting the good synergies and shenanigans you can do with it is pretty difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also self mill, which I think some like newer players would struggle with to like. It's hard to tell somebody, no, it's actually good that it's going to your graveyard. It's
Sure.
a tough concept, I think, to grasp.
Sure. But I think if you can grasp the concept of recursion, this is a really strong deck.
Absolutely, yeah.
However, what I will say is in order for this deck, I feel, to really hum, you gotta get fetch lands.
That's kind of the problem with some of these decks is yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
This
this
deck
one's
is going to suffer with, especially this one.
yeah, especially. Yep. Agreed.
So this is a 7, but then I say, was this from Eldraine with fetches?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then, well, hold on. But then that's not out of the box playability. Dude, put that in the fun factor.
Was this Eldraine with fetches?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I really think you get all 3 of the fetch lanes that you can run in here. You can technically run more, right? But if you run the fetches that you need,
I guess
you could run 1 color, right? Because
yeah,
technically lands have no color, right?
Yeah.
Fetches have no color.
Yep.
So if you run a fetch that's like fetch for a mountain or a forest, technically you can play that.
That's just a synergy that I just honestly never think about. Like I knew of it, and like if you had asked me, "Can you do that?" I've been like, "Yeah, you can do that." Never think to do it when I'm building a deck.
Well, because no one wants to put a $30 card into a deck that you can only play half of.
That's also fair.
You know, and you're not building any like absurdly high powered decks anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
Where you would want to do that.
Wow.
Also, I'm not building absurdly high powered decks.
Wow.
What? I don't put any off color fetches in decks.
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying wow indignantly.
Okay. Overall, this deck is an Eldraine. This is an Eldraine deck. I think it's a great Sultai deck to start from.
I think this is going to be hard to top for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a big Sultai boy.
If I'm building this deck, I'm certainly switching the alternate with the face, throwing in Conrad, throwing in the fetch lands, and just going to town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I feel like a Sir Conrad is like a very like a 50 cent include. It might be a dollar include that will instantly make this deck immediately good.
How much is Sir Conrad? Whoa, 45 cents.
Oh, there we go.
There he is. 45 cents. Big money. The cheapest. Oh, he's got a lot of printings.
I'm really sad the secret layer drop was $43.
Well, yeah, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Fucking awesome.
But it's 43 whole dollars,
that's
Chris.
on you, brother. You
No,
should have
it's
gotten
not.
that secret layer.
I didn't make it $43. How is that on me?
Well, because you didn't get it when it was a secret layer.
I might not have been able to. I don't know when it came
before,
out.
This came out years ago.
Well, I didn't know that, Chris.
Yeah, well, that's on you. It says it right here, 2023. 2 years ago, this card.
I can't read that. You think
2
I can?
years
What do you think I can read?
No. All right. Well, I think we stopped there. That's a lot of decks. All right, let's keep going. 2 more. Let's have a 2.5-hour episode, Tim.
Nope, we're ending. Goodbye.
So yeah, next week we will certainly be back for the last 2 decks, Mardu Surge and Jeskai Striker. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Mardu Surge, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
I've heard that Mardu seems to be the color to go with for pre-release for like this set.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm hearing as well.
Yeah.
So yep.
So yeah, I'm excited. I do like these, right? Like I know Chris didn't like the first one.
Oh come on, 2 out of 3 for me is pretty darn. It's 5 decks.
It is pretty
Not
good,
everyone's going to be a hit.
That's fair. That's very fair. I'm really thinking Jeskai is going to be that deck for me, where I'm going to be like, cool, Jeskai. Does this have prowess?
Oh, yeah. Okay, you figured it out. Good job.
It's Jeskai. Of course, there's prowess.
Let me see the commander for Jeskai.
I know one of them's Narset.
Flurry. It's Shiko and Narset, and then Alesha has trample prowess. Yep. Elsha. Yep. Elsha.
Oh, Narset.
So yes. So yeah. Okay. Prowess. Of course. What else is Jeskai gonna do? I get it. Same thing like Teamer. What else is Teamer gonna do? But to me, prowess is more exciting than turn clockwise.
Well, that's because you're turning them wrong, Chris. It's got to be counterclockwise.
You're right. Maybe I should turn them the opposite way and see how I feel.
I think you might feel. You're gonna, Chris. I'll tell you. You're gonna start off feeling a little dirty, right? But then you're gonna feel like, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's okay. Maybe this is something about you that you didn't even know. And then you're gonna think, wow, what if I turned it even like a little more counterclockwise? And you're gonna be like, whew. What's going on here? Just tapping lands just for the fun of it? Like, whew.
No. I'll just be straight up there. No.
No? Okay.
So, yeah. All right. So, I guess that's all we got for this week. We'll finish off the 2 next week. Overall, fun set. I'm excited for this set. I know I definitely wanted to do a draft or a pre-release or something like that, so we'll have to get that on the books.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. Until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Tim.
And this is Casual Commander.
And we love you.